Hello children, let me welcome you to the virtual class of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. My name is Shraddha teacher. Children, we are in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic and because of that we are not able to go to school, but that doesn't mean we are going to stop learning. So we are going to do many lessons which are very interesting from your textbook through the virtual class here. So let us do a lesson in English today. Let us go to our lesson for today. So it's a lesson in standard 4th English. And the name of the lesson is lesson number 28 from your English textbooks, The Elf Singing. Now children, this is a lesson about a creature which we call as elf. Now these are all supernatural creatures. Supernatural creatures means they may not be living, you might never have seen them, but they are part of stories, they are part of folk tales, etc., which people have been telling. And the stories of elves, you will see that people in Germany, they talk about stories of elves. Germany is a country. Okay. Now in this particular poem that we are going to learn, we are going to talk about how there is an elf. Can you see an elf here on the screen for you? Yes. So you will know how an elf likes to sing very much, and he sits in the courtyard or in the compound or near the house of a wizard, and he starts singing. Now who's a wizard? That also we will see very soon. Okay. And then the wizard, he doesn't like to hear this elf singing. Alright. And then what happens? Does the elf start singing or does he stop singing? And is the wizard able to stop the elf from singing? So all these things we will look at in this particular poem. Poem number 28 from your English textbooks, The Elf Singing. Now before we go directly and see the poem, children, let's learn a little bit about these mythical characters, okay, or these imaginary characters. Now on every page that you will see a nice, wonderful, small, tiny, funny elf in the corner. Okay. So now who are elves? So see, people who look like this, they are called as elves. And elves are usually the kind of people who are happy. Okay. They love to sing songs, they love to dance, and yes, they have certain magical powers too. So these are elves. Now just like elves, children, there are so many other imaginary creatures also about which we have learnt or you will learn in the further classes. So let us take a look at some of these imaginary creatures with magical powers, etc. So after elves, you have these fairies. Now you must have heard about fairies, you must have seen stories about fairies. There is a certain type of story which is called as fairy tale. Okay, and you hear stories about Cinderella and such in that. So a fairy is also an imaginary beautiful creature. Can you see this fairy? She usually has a magic wand with her. So can you see a wand in her hand? A wand is like a small stick. She uses the wand to do magic. Alright, so fairies are also magical creatures. Let me show you one more picture of a fairy here. And fairies are supposed to be very, very pretty. Okay, and you can see these fairies have nice, beautiful wings also. And they use these wings to fly from one place to another. Okay, so fairies are the next kind of creatures which are imaginary, like the elves. And then you have the gnomes, Gnomes, gnomes. Now in many European countries, children, they say that these gnomes, they know where the treasure is hidden under the earth. Okay, so under the surface of the earth, people have buried treasures, and they say that these gnomes, they know where the treasure is. They're very funny also, see? They make you laugh also. Alright, so these are gnomes. Now let us look at one more type of magical creature, that is a mermaid. So have you heard of a mermaid?
So who is a mermaid? A mermaid is half human and half fish. So can you see the mermaid here? The top part of her body is like that of a human being. She's got 2 hands, 2 eyes, ears, nose, hair, and the lower part of the body is like the body of a fish. Okay, so these mermaids are also magical creatures. See one more picture of a mermaid here. All right, then we come to the next kind of magical creature, which is a little frightening, and they are called witches. In Hindi, we say chudail. Okay, see, let us take a look at one chudail. There she comes, flying on a broom. See, and she doesn't look very nice. Okay, she doesn't look very pleasant, does she? So, witches, they are most of the time evil, and they can do some kind of magic also on you. Black magic they can do. Alright, so witches are most of the time evil. Let us take one more look at a frightening witch. So, hope you don't get scared. See, look at this witch. Oh my god. All the bats are hiding inside her clothes. So, witches are dangerous creatures with magical powers. And then you have wizards. So, wizards are men who have magical powers, just like the witches were women who had magical powers. Wizards are men who have magical powers. Some wizards are, of course, good, whereas some other wizards can be very, very evil. Can you see this evil wizard? Alright, so these are all the different kind of magical creatures that are there. They are all imaginary, children. Imaginary means you really don't know whether they are there or they are not there, but they are part of many different stories. Okay, now let us come to the poem that we have for today. So who are the magical creatures in our poem? It is an elf who likes to sing songs. Okay, and then there is the evil wizard. So in our poem for today, in our lesson for today, we have two main characters. So one is the elf who loves to sing, and the other one is the evil wizard who doesn't like people around him singing. Okay, so we will try and see what the poem is about. So the wizard, he sees the elf singing. What does he try to do? Is he happy that the elf is singing somewhere near his place? No, he tries to catch the elf using various tricks that he knows. So I told you that with these wizards, they know a lot of magic. Okay, they can perform a lot of magic. Sorry, see, I have a little bit of a bad throat, so I might cough once in a while. Okay, I'm extremely sorry for that. So let us continue. So the wizard, he sees the elf singing, he gets very, very angry, and he tries to catch hold of the elf. So that is the entire story in the poem, The Elf Singing. So let us see who has written this poem. So this poem is written by William Allingham. He was born on the 19th of March 1824, and he passed away on the 18th of November 1889. He was an Irish poet, diarist, and an editor. Diarist means he used to believe in maintaining diaries which were later published. Alright, so this is about the poet who's written this particular beautiful poem called The Elf Singing. So come on, now let's go to the poem. I will read the poem line by line. I will try to explain the meaning of the poem to you, and later on we will see some meanings also which are there, some meaning of some big words which are there in the poem. So are you all ready to start reading and understanding the poem along with me? So come on, here we go. The name of the poem is The Elf Singing. Let us start by reading one line at a time. So, an elf sat on a twig He was not very big. He sang a little song. He did not think it wrong. But he was on a wizard's ground who hated all sweet sound. There you go. So you have a nice, beautiful little tiny elf. He's sitting on a twig. Now, the twig is not strong like a branch. Okay? A twig is a part of a tree, just like we have the branches, we have leaves. In the same way, the twig is also a part of a tree. I will show you a picture of the twig very soon. He was not very big. The elf is quite tiny. That is the reason he could sit on the twig. And he sang a beautiful little song because he thought that it is not wrong to sing songs. Is it wrong to sing songs, children? Not at all. Songs are an expression of our thoughts. When we are happy, we sing. When we are sad, we sing. Okay? So singing songs is a very beautiful kind of gift, you can say, that people have. So our elf also, he sat on a twig and he started singing because he thought there is nothing wrong with it. But where was he? He was singing in a place which was wrong for him. He was on a wizard's ground. Now, who's a wizard? We saw, na? A wizard is also a person who can do magic. It is a man who can do magic. And some wizards are good and the others are not so good. So he was on a wizard's ground who hated all sweet sound. So this wizard of ours, he did not like anybody singing near him. Okay? So he was a rather grumpy wizard. He was not a happy wizard. Okay? Then our poet is trying to warn our friend the elf. So what is our poet telling him? Our poet is telling him to take care because the wizard doesn't like people singing around him and the wizard can do magic. Okay? So what does the poet say? Let's see. He says, elf, elf, take care of yourself. He's coming behind you to seize you and bind you and stifle your song. What is he doing? The poet is warning our friend the elf and he's saying, take care of yourself. Why? Because he is coming behind you. Who's the he here? The he here is the wizard. And what is the wizard going to do? The wizard is going to seize you. Seize you means catch hold of you, bind you. He's going to tie you up and he's going to make you stop singing that song of yours. Stifle means to stop someone from doing something. So the elf has already been warned by the poet. Okay, let us look at a few words which are there in this meanings. So see, this is a twig. So a twig is not like a big branch which is strong and thick and it can support you. Okay, the twig cannot support the weight of people, so you're not supposed to climb on top of a twig and sit there. But the elf that we have in our poem is very tiny and he doesn't have too much of a weight, so he can always say comfortably sit on the twig without breaking the twig and without injuring himself. Okay, then let us see another meaning, seize. So see here, there is this boy who's running away with the girl's toy and the girl is running behind him to seize him. So what will she do? Once she catches hold of him, she will take her toy from him. So seizing means to catch hold of someone, to follow someone in order to catch hold of that person. Okay, next look at these two images. So the first one is called binding someone. So when you bind someone, what do? See what have they done to this poor little boy? They've tied him up with a rope and then with a chain, and there is a ball also attached to the chain, and the chain has been locked with two big padlocks. So you bind someone simply means you do not allow that person to move. So you tie up his hands and his legs. So that is the meaning of binding. So to bind means to bind someone. Okay? And to bind can also mean to bring something together. Okay? But that is a different meaning of bind. We are looking at the meaning of bind as it comes in this particular poem. Let us look at the next picture now. So in the next picture, what can you see? You can see a boy, a little boy like you, with a tape on his mouth. Now why is that tape there on his mouth? Because someone has stifled him. Stifle means what? He wants to say something, but someone is preventing him from saying it. So what did the wizard want to do? The wizard wanted to stifle the elves' song, isn't it? So here in the same way, someone has stifled this boy. So when you stifle someone, you stop someone from doing something. And here, why have I tied the mouth? Because the elf's voice has been stifled, or the wizard is trying to stifle the elf's voice. Okay, so this is the meaning of stifle. Now let us go to the next part of this poem. The wizard, the wizard. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the wizard. So we know who the elf is now. The elf is a small creature. He's very happy and he's sitting and singing. Where? In the garden of the wizard. And the wizard doesn't like people singing. So let's talk a little bit of the wizard now. The wizard, the wizard. He changes his shape in crawling along. So the wizard can go on changing his shape. Okay, so see, he's magical, na? Can you change your shape? Can I change my shape? No. So the wizard here is magical. He changes his shape. And see, he's running behind our friend the elf. Can you see? An ugly old ape. So the wizard first becomes an ugly old ape. An ape is a big monkey. Alright? Then he runs behind the elf. He runs behind the elf. He's not able to catch him. Then he changes his shape and he becomes a poisonous lizard. See? And look at the picture there. This is the lizard. Okay? And in the picture you will see that the lizard is very close to catching the elf. He's got his big long tongue out. And any moment now he will catch our elf. After that, the wizard becomes a spotted spider. Now, spiders are sometimes very poisonous also, okay? He becomes a spider and he tries to catch our friend the elf. Then he becomes a wormy glider. So who's a glider? What is a wormy glider? See, a wormy glider is a worm which glides on the ground like this. So what all things can the wizard become? Or what all things does the wizard become in order to catch hold of the elf? So he becomes an ape, he becomes a lizard, he becomes a spider, he becomes a worm. Okay? The wizard, the wizard. So he's become all these things. He's upon the bow. Bow means the bow of a tree. He'll bite through your gizzard. He's close to you now. So he's saying, come on, be careful. He's become a worm. He's become a bug. He's become an ape. He's become a lizard to catch hold of you. And he's come very close to the bough. You're sitting on a twig. He's coming and sitting on a branch. And he will bite through your gizzard. Gizzard means what is there inside your stomach. He will bite through your gizzard and he's very close to you now. Alright, let's see the meaning of a word here. So we have the word gizzard. So see, this is a gizzard means a person's throat or stomach. Alright, so this is the gizzard of a hen, of a chicken. So you can see all the parts inside the body of a chicken, in the throat and inside the stomach of a chicken. So the poet is telling the elf that he will come and he will get into your gizzard, that is, he will tear your stomach and he will try to eat you up. Okay? Then what happens? Does the elf stop singing? Not at all. The elf went on with his song. It grew more clear and strong. It lifted him into the air. He floated singing away with rainbows in his hair. So now the elf went on singing, he went on singing, and suddenly he developed some kind of magical powers. So the more he sang, the more he was able to lift himself up into the air. So he was singing and he became so light that he started floating away in the air. And he had some rainbows also in his hair. So now the wizard was surprised. He said, "Oh, how could this elf escape from me?" But the wizard was a bad person, so something bad happened to him. So let us see what happened to the wizard. While the wizard worm from his creep made a sudden leap. So now the wizard was in the form of a worm, in the form of a kida. He was creeping on the ground. Suddenly he leaped, that means he jumped, and fell down into a hole. And ere his magic word he could say was eaten up by a mole. So see, the wizard was evil, so he had a very bad end. Okay, our friend the elf was good at heart. He was only singing, he was happy, he was trying to make others happy. So that is the reason he could float and he could fly away in the air. What happened to the wizard? Something very sad happened to the wizard. The wizard worm, when he was creeping, suddenly he took a leap. He jumped. And where did he land? He landed into a hole. And before he could say something magical and change his shape, he was eaten by a mole. Now a mole is a kind of an animal. Let me show you pictures again now. So you know what a rainbow looks like. See, this is a picture of a rainbow. So there were these kind of rainbows in the hair of our elf when he was rising in the air and floating away. Okay, then the next is leap. So can you see? See, the cat is leaping here. So making a long jump. So he is leaping and he has landed on something. But our poor wizard lands inside a hole. Okay, and there what happens? He is eaten away by a mole, and before he could say his magical word. So here E-R-E means before. So before he could say his magical word, he is eaten up by a mole. So see, this is a mole. It is a small hairy creature like the rats, the mice that you have seen, like that. Okay, so that was the end of our Mr. Wizard. Okay, so was the poem good? Yes, it was very interesting, isn't it? We were interested to know till the end as to what happens to our little elf. But a little elf, he sings happily, he lives happily, and he flies away also very happily. Now children, we have certain question answers, fill in the blanks in the textbook that you can try and do it on yourself. Okay, if you have understood the lesson, you will be able to write all the answers yourself. Let us look at a small exercise here on rhyming words. So what is the meaning of rhyming words? Rhyming words means words which sound similar to your ears. Okay, so when I show you the words, you will understand what the meaning of rhyming words are. So see the first pair of rhyming words. Twig, big. So you see the sound of the letter G. Twig, big. So that is why these two words are called as rhyming. There are a number of rhyming words in this poem. Okay, so let me show you some. The remaining will be homework for you, assignment for you. Look at the next one. Song, wrong. So the sound of the N and G together. Song, wrong. So it is a nasal sound, a sound which comes out of your nose. Alright? One more pair of rhyming word here is ground sound. So see the sound of the D. Ground sound. So this is one more pair of rhyming words. Let us look at the next one here. So you have shape and ape. The sound of the P here is repeated. Okay? Shape, ape. And then finally you have spider, glider. So the sound of the ER, spy. You don't say spider. You don't say spider and glider. Okay? You say spider, glider. So sound of the So what are rhyming words? Come on, let me hear you saying it. Rhyming words are words which sound the same towards the end of the word. Okay, so these are some examples of rhyming words. Now I'll give you some few exercises. One is you have to write the question answers to the questions which are there in the textbook. That is going to be very simple because this poem was very simple, easy to understand, and we saw a number of pictures also here. The second work that I will give you, the second assignment that I will give you is you will try to find out the remaining rhyming words from this particular poem, and then you will go back and you will search some other poem also in your textbook. Pick up any poem in your English textbook. We have been doing a lot of poems, isn't it? So pick up any one poem from your English textbook and try to find out the rhyming words in that particular poem also. Alright children, so this was the lesson for you, the elf singing. We looked at the meaning of the difficult words in the poem. I showed you the pictures of various magical creatures, not only elves and wizards, but we also saw pictures of fairies, we saw pictures of mermaids, of gnomes, etc. And we also tried to understand who these different people are. Then we read the poem together. Okay, the entire poem we read it together, and I tried to explain the meaning of the words for you. Finally, we had an exercise on rhyming words, which we have done here together now. So this was a poem in English, children, lesson number 28, The Elf Singing. So I'll come back very soon to meet you with another lesson in English. Till then, goodbye and thank you so much.
So children, wasn't that a very interesting lesson? I'm sure you learnt a lot of new things in this lesson. If you have liked this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my video so that you will get to see all the videos which I keep posting regularly.